February 19th, 1945, dawn, the Pacific Ocean, 800 kilometers south of Tokyo. A small volcanic island rises from the water, 8 square kilometers, pork-chop-shaped, black sand beaches. Mount Suribachi, a dormant volcano, dominates the southern tip. The island is called Iwo Jima, Sulphur Island. It stinks of volcanic gases. Steam vents dot the landscape. The ground is hot to the touch in places. It is one of the most desolate pieces of real estate in the Pacific. It is also one of the most strategic. Iwo Jima sits directly under the flight path of B-29 Superfortress bombers flying from the Mariana Islands to bomb Japan. Japanese fighters based on Iwo intercept the bombers. Radar stations on the island provide early warning to Tokyo. American planners want Iwo for the opposite reason, as a base for fighter escorts, as an emergency landing field for damaged bombers, as a staging area for the final assault on Japan. To take Iwo Jima, 70,000 United States Marines will storm the beaches. They face 21,000 Japanese defenders commanded by General Tadamichi Kuribayashi. The Japanese have spent months fortifying the island. 11 miles of tunnels connect 1,500 cave positions and pillboxes. Every inch of beach is pre-registered for artillery fire. Every approach is covered by interlocking fields of fire. The defenders have orders to kill 10 Americans each before dying. They will nearly succeed. The battle will last 36 days, February 19th to March 26, 1945. It will be the bloodiest battle in Marine Corps history. 7,000 Americans will die, 19,000 will be wounded. Nearly one-third of the assault force will become casualties. On the Japanese side, 18,000 defenders will die. Only 1,000 will be captured. The rest will fight to the death in their tunnels and caves. On February 23rd, the fourth day of Battle 5, Marines and one Navy corpsman will raise the American flag on top of Mount Suribachi. Associated Press photographer Joe Rosenthal will capture the moment. The photograph will become the most reproduced image in history, a symbol of American determination and sacrifice. 3 of the 6 flag raisers will die before the battle ends. This is Iwo Jima, 36 days that killed 7,000 Marines. The island that had to be taken regardless of cost. The battle that proved the Japanese would never surrender. The fight that foreshadowed what invading the home islands would require. The island fortress Iwo Jima is not a natural fortress. It is a man-made one. General Kuribayashi arrived in June 1944. He immediately began transforming the island into a death trap. He abandoned traditional Japanese defensive doctrine. No banzai charges, no defending at the water's edge. Instead, defense in depth. Let the Americans land, then kill them from fortified positions inland. Kuribayashi supervises construction of an underground fortress. 11 miles of tunnels are carved through volcanic rock. The tunnels connect defensive positions across the island. Machine gun bunkers, artillery emplacements, mortar pits, command posts, barracks, hospital rooms, storage chambers. The Japanese can move underground from one end of the island to the other without being seen. The entrances are camouflaged, barely visible slits in rocks, hidden doors in cliff faces, firing ports disguised as natural features. American naval gunfire and airstrikes will pound the island for months. They will have minimal effect. The Japanese are underground, safe, waiting. The defensive positions are sophisticated. Reinforced concrete pillboxes 5 feet thick, steel doors, multiple firing ports providing overlapping fields of fire, artillery pieces in caves with rails allowing them to be rolled out, fired, and withdrawn before counter-battery fire arrives, mortars positioned in defilade, where they cannot be seen but can rain shells on the beaches. The Japanese garrison totals 21,000 troops, the 109th Division, the 2nd Mixed Brigade, tank units, artillery regiments, engineers. The defenders have stockpiled ammunition, food, and water for months of fighting. They are prepared for siege. They will get it. American intelligence underestimates the fortifications. Aerial photographs show some positions but miss the underground network. Planners estimate the island can be taken in 5 days, maybe a week. They are wrong by a month. The bombardment November 1944. The preliminary bombardment begins. B-24. Liberator bombers strike Iwo Jima daily. 1,000-pound bombs, incendiaries. The raids continue for 74 consecutive days, the longest sustained bombardment of the Pacific War. The island is blasted repeatedly. Craters overlap. The surface looks like the moon. The bombardment has minimal effect. The Japanese are underground. The bombs crater empty ground, destroy surface structures, but the tunnels remain intact. The defenders wait. December 8th. The Navy joins the bombardment. Cruisers and destroyers shell the island. 5-inch and 8-inch guns, high explosive shells. The shelling continues intermittently for weeks. Thousands of rounds. The island is further pulverized. Still the defenses hold. February 16th, 1945. 3 days before the invasion, the final intensive bombardment begins. 6 battleships, 5 cruisers, 16 destroyers. They form a line offshore and fire continuously. 16-inch shells from the battleships, 14-inch from the cruisers, 5-inch from the destroyers. The combined firepower is staggering. 22,000 shells in 3 days. Marine officers request 10 days of bombardment. The Navy says 3 days is sufficient. Ammunition is limited. Time is critical. 3 days is what they get. The Marine commanders are worried. They doubt the bombardment will be enough. They are right. The shelling tears up the landscape, destroys some visible positions, knocks out a few guns, but the main defensive network is untouched. The Japanese sit in their caves listening to shells impact above. They count the days. They know the invasion is coming. They are ready. D-Day, February 19th. 0640 hours, February 19th, 1945. The fleet is in position off Iwo Jima. 450 ships, the largest armada assembled for a Pacific Island assault. Battleships, carriers, cruisers, destroyers, transports, landing craft. The assembly is overwhelming. The power projection is total. The Marines are ready. 4th Marine Division on the right flank, 5th Marine Division on the left, 3rd Marine Division in reserve offshore, 70,000 men. They have trained for months at Maui and Saipan, rehearsed the landing, studied maps and models of Iwo. They know the terrain, they know the plan. Land. On the southeast beaches, secure the beachhead, push inland, isolate Mount Suribachi, capture the airfields, take the island. The plan is clear. The confidence is high. Execution will shatter that confidence. The Marines wear utilities, helmets. They carry rifles, M1s, carbines, bars, machine guns, flamethrowers, demolitions, every weapon needed for assault. They check equipment repeatedly. Magazines seated, round chambered, safety on. Grenades attached to web gear. Entrenching tools, canteens, rations. Each Marine carries 40 to 60 pounds of gear. The officers give final briefings. Company commanders talk to their platoons. Remember your training, stay low, move fast off the beach, get inland. Link up with adjacent units, take your objectives. Simple instructions, hard to execute under fire. 900 hours. The bombardment intensifies. Every ship fires. Battleships unleash their main batteries. 16-inch shells weighing over 1 ton streak toward Iwo. The impact creates massive explosions. Craters 30 feet across. The island disappears under smoke and dust. Cruisers add 8-inch and 6-inch guns. Faster rate of fire than battleships. More shells. The cruisers walk their fire across suspected defensive positions. Bunkers, pillboxes, artillery emplacements. The fire is methodical, professional. Destroyers close to within 1,000 yards of shore. Dangerous proximity. They fire 5-inch guns at point targets. Rapid fire. The smaller shells are less destructive individually, but the volume compensates. Thousands of 5-inch shells in 30 minutes. Carrier aircraft join. Corsairs dive on the island. 500-pound bombs, rockets, napalm. The aircraft make multiple runs. They strafe with 50 caliber machine guns. Anything that might be a defensive position is hit. The noise is continuous thunder. This is the final preparation. Soften the defenses one last time before the Marines land. 0902 hours, the first wave. Launches, landing vehicle tracked, LVTs, amphibious tractors manufactured by Food Machinery Corporation. Buffalo, alligator, water buffalo. The Marines call them Amtraks. Each LVT carries approximately 20 Marines plus crew. The vehicles are armoured but lightly. 30 caliber machine guns provide minimal armament. They are transports, not fighting vehicles. 68 LVTs in the first wave. They form a line offshore. The wave is precisely organised. Each LVT knows its position, its beach landing zone. The coloured panels on the rear identify the unit. Red, yellow, blue, green. The organisation is critical. Landing in the wrong sector creates chaos. The LVTs churn toward the island. Their tracks propel them through water. The ride is rough. Waves wash over the bow. Marines inside are soaked, cold, scared. Most are quiet. Some pray. Others check weapons again. Some joke nervously. Coping mechanisms. The ride seems to last forever. Actually 7 minutes. Behind the first wave, more waves form. Landing craft vehicle personnel. LCVPs, Higgins boats. They carry 36 Marines each. They are cheaper than LVTs, less armoured, but they work. Wave after wave. 8 waves in the first hour. Over 10,000 Marines hitting the beach. Tank landing ships, LSTs, carry Sherman tanks. M4 Shermans with 75mm guns. The tanks will land after the infantry secures the beach. Provide mobile firepower. The plan requires coordination, timing, discipline. Everything the Marines trained for. 0905 hours. The first LVTs hit the beach. Terraces. The volcanic sand forms terraces 10 to 15 feet high. The LVTs struggle to climb. Some make it, others get stuck. The ramps drop anyway. Marines pour out. They run up the beach expecting heavy fire. Nothing happens. The beach is silent. No machine guns, no mortars, no artillery. The quiet is eerie, unnatural. Veterans of Saipan and Tinian expect immediate contact. This silence is wrong, disturbing. The Marines advance inland. The volcanic sand is soft, black. Fine particles, almost like gravel or kitty litter. Each step sinks 6 to 12 inches. Running is exhausting. Forward progress is slow. Vehicles bog immediately. Wheels spin uselessly. Tracks throw rooster tails of sand but gain little traction. This is the first problem. Mobility is gone. Everything must advance on foot. Terraces block vehicle movement. The Shermans cannot climb 15-foot walls of sand. Engineers try to bulldoze ramps. The dozers bog too. Everything stops. The beach becomes parking lot. Vehicles immobilized. Troops piling up. Still no fire from the Japanese. More waves land. Thousands of Marines pile onto the narrow beaches. They push inland toward the first airfield. 400 yards from the water to airfield number 1. The advance is unopposed. Some Marines think the bombardment worked. The Japanese are destroyed, fleeing. The optimism is very brief. 0930 hours. The trap springs. Artillery fire crashes down on the beaches. Coastal defense guns. 120mm, 150mm. Big naval rifles hidden in caves on Mount Suribachi and the northern highlands. The Japanese have waited until the beaches are packed with Marines and equipment. Maximum targets. Minimum chance to miss. They fire everything. The first shells land among the LVTs at the waterline. Direct hits destroy vehicles. Secondary explosions as fuel and ammunition detonate. Marines still inside are killed instantly. Those near are hit by shrapnel. The carnage is immediate. Mortars join the barrage. 81mm, 90mm. The Japanese have pre-registered every square metre of beach. The mortar crews drop rounds down tubes as fast as possible. The shells arc high, then plunge down. They impact everywhere. Airbursts, ground bursts. The fragmentation kills and wounds dozens. Rockets streak from hidden launchers. Japanese rockets. Spigot. Mortars. 200-kilogram warheads. The explosions are massive. Each hit obliterates everything within 20 meters. Men, vehicles, equipment. The craters are huge. The rockets are terror weapons. The sound alone is demoralizing. Machine guns open fire from hidden positions. Type 92 heavy machine guns, 7.7mm. The bunkers are invisible, camouflaged perfectly. Firing ports barely visible. But the fields of fire are interlocking, overlapping. Every approach is covered. The Japanese gunners fire, traverse and search. Methodical, deadly. Grazing fire sweeps the beach at knee height. Marines are cut down running. The Marines are caught in the open, exposed, bunched together. Vehicles provide no cover. They are targets themselves. The casualties are immediate and severe. Men fall, scream, die. Blood stains the black sand. The beach becomes a slaughter ground. Corpsmen run to the wounded. They ignore fire. Their job is saving lives. Navy pharmacists, mates with Marine infantry. They carry medical bags, morphine, bandages, plasma. They work in the open under fire, assess injuries, apply treatment, calm the terrified. Some corpsmen are hit, become casualties while treating casualties. Others keep working. This is their mission. Officers try to organize, get troops off the beach, move inland, away from the killing zone. But moving inland means attacking fortified positions. The choice is dying on the beach or dying attacking. The Marines choose attack. This is what they trained for, this is their mission. They advance because staying means death. Sergeant Darren Cole leads his machine gun squad forward. They reach a pillbox. Japanese fire from the firing port. Cole throws grenades, charges the bunker, destroys it with demolitions. He moves to the next position, repeats. He destroys 5 pillboxes in 1 hour, killed clearing the 6th, Medal of Honor, posthumous, private first class. Douglas Jacobson grabs a bazooka. He destroys 16 enemy positions, pillboxes, bunkers, tanks. He fights for 12 hours straight. Survives, Medal of Honor, age 19, tank destroyers land, M10 Wolverines, 3-inch guns. They try to move. The sand defeats them. Tracks slip. Engines overheat. Some throw tracks completely. The crews work frantically to repair. Under fire. Some succeed. Others abandon the vehicles. The M10s that become operational move inland, provide direct fire support, blast bunkers. The 76mm high-velocity guns are effective against fortifications. Shermans finally land. The engineers have bulldozed crude ramps up the terraces. The tanks struggle up. Some make it. Others bog halfway. The tank crews are brave. They know they are targets. But Marines need the firepower. The Shermans advance. 75mm guns engage pillboxes. The high-explosive shells demolish concrete. Machine guns suppress enemy infantry. The tanks draw fire. Better the shells hit armor than Marines. But the Japanese have anti-tank weapons. 47mm anti-tank guns. Hidden, well-sighted. They fire at the Shermans from close range. The shells penetrate thin American armor. Tanks brew up, catch fire. Ammunition cooks off. The crews bail out if possible. Many die inside, burned alive. The smell of burning flesh is unforgettable. By noon, 30,000 Marines are ashore. The beachhead is secured but shallow, hundreds of meters deep at most, less in places. The 4th Marine Division on the right has crossed the southern tip, cut off Mount Suribachi. Good progress. The 5th Marine Division on the left struggles toward Airfield No. 1. Slow progress, heavy casualties. The beaches are chaos. Destroyed vehicles burn. Bodies lie everywhere. Wounded await evacuation. Supply dumps are scattered. Everything is under fire. Artillery, mortars, snipers. Nothing is safe. The shore party works anyway. Unloading supplies, directing traffic, evacuating wounded, heroes without. Recognition. They keep the invasion supplied. Without them, the assault fails. The casualties are already in the thousands. Dead. Wounded. The aid stations are overwhelmed. Corpsmen work frantically. Triage. Treat critical first. Stabilize. Evacuate. The wounded are loaded onto landing craft. Taken to hospital ships offshore. Operating rooms work continuously. Surgeons exhausted. But they keep operating. Saving lives. The medical system works, but barely. The casualties exceed planning. There are not enough corpsmen, not enough doctors, not enough anything. But they cope. Improvise. Persist. The beach is a killing ground. But the invasion continues. More waves land. Fresh Marines pour ashore. Take casualties. Push forward. This is World War II island assault. Maximum violence, total commitment. The only way forward is through. The Marines understand, they advance because that is what Marines do. The flag raising. Mount Suribachi. Mount Suribachi dominates the southern end of Iwo Jima. The extinct volcano rises 169 meters above sea level. The Japanese have fortified it heavily. Artillery observers on the summit can see the entire island. Call fire on any position. The mountain must be taken to secure the beachhead. 28th Marines, 5th Marine Division receives the mission. Take Suribachi. Colonel Harry Liversedge commands. His regiment pushes toward the volcano. The Japanese resist from countless hidden positions. Pillboxes, caves, spider holes. The fighting is brutal, close range. The Marines advance meters at a time. Flamethrowers burn out caves. Demolitions collapse bunkers. Rifles and grenades clear the approaches. February 20th. Day 2. The 28th Marines reach the base of Suribachi. They begin the ascent. The slopes are steep, covered with rocks and volcanic ash. Visibility is limited. Japanese fire comes from everywhere. The Marines cannot see the enemy, but the enemy sees them. Progress is measured in hours. Per 100 meters. Every cave must be cleared, every firing position eliminated. The Marines use combined arms, infantry advances. Tanks provide covering fire from positions that will not bog. Artillery shells the summit. Aircraft strafe suspected positions. Still the advance is slow. February 21st, day 3. The Marines are halfway up Suribachi. The casualties mount. Company commanders fall. Platoon leaders are killed. Sergeants take command. The fighting continues. There is no alternative. Stopping means dying. Advancing means maybe dying. So they advance. February 22nd, day 4. Patrols reach near the summit. They report the Japanese resistance is weakening. Many defenders are dead. Others have withdrawn into deeper tunnels. A final assault may succeed. February 23rd, day 5, 0800 hours. A 40-man patrol from Easy Company, 2nd Battalion, 28th Marines, climbs to the summit. They carry an American flag, 54 inches by 28 inches, small, but sufficient. The patrol is led by 1st Lieutenant Harold Schreier. They reach the top at 10:20 hours. They find a length of Japanese pipe, 20 feet long, perfect flagpole. They attach the flag. At 10:35, 6 men raise the pole. The flag goes up. Down on the beaches, ships blow horns. Marines cheer. The flag on Suribachi means the southern part of the island is secure. The symbol is powerful. The moment is captured on film by Staff Sergeant Louis Lowry, photographer for Leatherneck magazine. But the flag is small, hard to see from distance. Someone suggests a larger flag, one that can be seen across the island, one that will inspire the Marines still fighting, one that will photograph better. 1300 hours, a second flag raising. This one with a larger flag, 96 inches by 56 inches, taken from LST 779. The patrol that raises it includes 5 Marines and 1 Navy corpsman, Sergeant Michael, Strank, Corporal Harlan Block, Private First Class Franklin Suley, Private First Class Renee Gagnon, Private First Class Ira Hayes, Navy Pharmacist's Mate 2nd Class John Bradley. They raise the flag at 13:45. Associated Press photographer Joe Rosenthal captures the moment. His camera clicks at the exact instant. The photograph is perfect. The composition, the light, the action frozen. 6 men straining to raise the pole, the flag beginning to unfurl. The image is iconic immediately. Rosenthal does not know he has captured the photograph of the war, maybe the photograph of the century. He sends the film back for processing. The image is transmitted worldwide. It appears in newspapers the next day. The reaction is overwhelming. The photograph becomes a symbol of courage, sacrifice, American determination. It will be reproduced millions of times. It will inspire a memorial. It will define the Pacific War for generations. 3 of the 6 flag raisers will not survive Iwo Jima. Sergeant Strank will be killed by artillery fire on March 1st. Corporal Block will die the same day. Private First Class Suley will be killed by machine gun fire on March 21st. Half the men in the photograph will die before the battle ends. The cost of that symbol is 3 lives. The flag flies over carnage. The meat grinder. While the 28th Marines fight for Suribachi, the rest of the invasion force pushes north. The 4th Marine Division on the right, the 5th Marine Division on the left. The objective is the centre of the island. Airfield number 1, airfield number 2 being constructed beyond it. The high ground in the north. The Japanese defences here are even stronger than Suribachi. This is where Kuribayashi concentrates his forces. This is where the killing intensifies. The terrain favours defence absolutely. Rocky outcrops of volcanic stone, deep ravines carved by erosion, cliffs, caves everywhere. The volcanic rock is porous, easy to tunnel, perfect for fortification. The Japanese have spent months creating a fortress. Every position supports others. Destroying one bunker exposes the attackers to fire from 3 more. Advance is nearly impossible. It happens anyway through blood and determination. The Marines name the worst areas. The Meat Grinder, a complex of fortified hills and ravines in the 4th Division sector. Turkey Knob, a rock formation bristling with guns. The Amphitheatre, a natural bowl surrounded by heights. Every position has clear fields of fire into the bowl. Hill 362 Able, Hill 382. Each name represents hundreds of casualties. Each position requires days to take. The fighting is the most brutal of the Pacific War. Nothing in the European theatre compares except perhaps Stalingrad. The Meat Grinder complex earns its name immediately. 4th Marine Division attacks on February 21st. Day 3. The assault waves move forward confidently. They expect resistance. They do not expect a fortress. The Japanese fire from positions the Marines cannot see. Machine guns, anti-tank guns, mortars, artillery. The fire comes from everywhere and nowhere. Marines go down, the advance stops. Company commanders call for artillery support. The American artillery responds. 105mm howitzers from the 13th Marines. The guns are emplaced on the beach, still under occasional fire themselves. But they shoot. High explosive shells impact on suspected Japanese positions. The Japanese hunker in their caves. The shells explode harmlessly above. When the barrage lifts, they emerge. Resume firing. The Marines advance again. Same result. Casualties. No progress. The cycle repeats. Artillery fires. Infantry attacks. Japanese fire from caves. Infantry takes casualties. Pulls back. Calls for more artillery. The 4th Division makes minimal progress the first day. Meters. Tens of meters. The casualties are staggering. Companies are reduced to platoons. Platoons to squads. Replacements arrive the same day. Enter combat immediately. Many become casualties within hours. Some do not survive their first day on the line. February 22nd, day 4. The division tries different tactics. Tank infantry teams. Sherman tanks lead. 75mm guns blast suspected positions. Infantry follows. The tanks draw fire. Japanese anti-tank guns engage. 47mm guns. The shape-charged shells penetrate Sherman armor easily. Side hits kill tanks. Frontal hits often penetrate too. The armor is inadequate. The crews know. They advance anyway. Marines need the fire support. Staff Sergeant William Harrell leads his squad through intense fire. He loses both hands to grenade blast. Continues directing his men using his arms. Survives. Medal of Honor. His determination inspires everyone who witnesses it. Corporal Tony Stein leads assault after assault. He carries a Stinger, a .30 caliber machine gun salvaged from wrecked aircraft. Modified for ground use, the weapon is lighter than M1919. Faster rate of fire, Stein uses it like a rifle. Charges pillboxes firing from the hip. Destroys 20 positions in one day. Killed 2 weeks later. Medal of Honor posthumous. The Marines develop better tactics through blood. Flamethrower teams become critical. The M2A1 flamethrower carries 4 gallons of napalm mixture. Range is 40 yards. Duration is 10 seconds of continuous fire. Not long, but devastating. The flamethrower operator approaches bunkers covered by rifle squad. He gets close. Within 30 yards. Fires. The stream of liquid fire shoots into the bunker entrance. Everything inside burns. The heat is over 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Steel melts. Concrete cracks. Human bodies are incinerated. No one survives. But the flamethrower operator is exposed while firing. He carries 70 pounds of fuel on his back. The tanks are pressurized. If hit by bullets, they explode. The operator becomes Human Torch. Japanese snipers know this. They target flamethrower operators specifically. The life expectancy is measured in hours. Some operators survive 1 assault, maybe 2. Then they are killed. Replacement step forward. Volunteer. Someone must do it. The bunkers must be destroyed. Private First Class Donald. Rule saves fellow Marines by throwing himself on grenade. Absorbs blast with his body. Dies instantly. Saves 5 men. Medal of Honor, age 20, from Montana. One of many who made that choice on Iwo Jima. Demolition teams follow the flamethrowers. They carry satchel charges. 20-pound bags of C2 explosive. Bangalore torpedoes. Pole charges. They place explosives against bunker entrances or walls. Light the fuse. Run. The explosion collapses the bunker. Entombs the defenders. This works when the Japanese stay inside. Often they do not. They sense the demolition team approaching. They emerge fighting. Close combat erupts. Marines shoot point blank. Bayonets. Entrenching tools used as weapons. The fighting is savage. Personal. Men kill each other at arm's length. Tank infantry cooperation improves. The tanks learn to fire high explosive shells directly into cave mouths. The shells penetrate 20 or 30 feet before exploding. The blast tears through tunnels, kills defenders. Inside. The infantry protects tanks from close assault. Japanese soldiers with magnetic mines try to destroy tanks. Stick bombs, pole charges. Infantry shoots them before they reach the tanks. The cooperation is essential. Neither can advance alone. Together they are effective, but still the progress is slow. Artillery support is continuous. The howitzers fire thousands of rounds daily. Danger close missions are routine. Shells land 50 meters from friendly positions, sometimes closer. Forward observers with the assault companies call fire onto positions meters from their own. The risk is accepted because without artillery, the advance stops completely. Some friendly fire casualties occur, inevitable, the price of close support, but the alternative is worse. No fire means higher casualties from enemy fire. Naval gunfire adds tremendous weight, destroyers close to shore, within 2,000 yards. Dangerous proximity to shore batteries, but necessary. They fire 5-inch shells at specific bunkers identified by forward observers. The fire is accurate, effective, destroys many positions, but there are hundreds of positions, thousands. Destroying them one at a time takes weeks. Cruisers with 8-inch guns demolish larger fortifications. The heavy shells penetrate deep, collapse tunnels, but again there are too many targets. The Japanese prepared thoroughly. Every position has alternate positions. Destroying one means others engage. Battleships with 14 and 16-inch guns crater the landscape. The massive shells can destroy any position, but they are area weapons, not precision. The forward observers cannot risk calling 16-inch fire close to Marines. The minimum safe distance is too large. The battleships engage distant targets, suspected command posts, assembly areas. The bombardment is psychologically devastating to Japanese. The earth shakes with each impact. But physical destruction is limited. Air support is constant. Marine Corsairs from escort carriers offshore, F4U Corsairs, bent wing birds, they strafe with 650 caliber machine guns. The firepower is incredible. They drop 500-pound bombs, fire rockets, 5-inch high-velocity aircraft rockets. They make multiple sorties per day, from dawn to dusk. Whenever weather permits, the pilots are brave. They dive through anti-aircraft fire. Japanese machine guns target them. Some aircraft are hit, crash. The pilots die, but most survive. They keep flying. Marines on the ground need them. Napalm becomes standard. The jellied gasoline sticks to everything, burns intensely. The fire penetrates caves, ignites ammunition. Cooking off grenades and shells causes secondary explosions. The Japanese fear napalm more than anything. Cannot escape it in their tunnels. The fire consumes oxygen, suffocates those not burned. The weapon is horrific but effective. Progress is measured in meters per day. 10 meters is a good day. 20 meters is exceptional. February 25th, day 7. The 4th Marine Division fights for Turkey Knob, a rocky outcrop 40 meters high. The Japanese have fortified every crevice. Machine guns cover every approach. Mortars pre-registered on the slopes. The Marines assault repeatedly. They are thrown back each time. Casualties mount. 50 dead. 100. The division commits more troops. Companies from reserve battalions. Still, they cannot take the position. Finally, artillery is concentrated. Every available gun fires at Turkey Knob for 2 hours. Thousands of shells. The rock is pulverized. Then airstrikes. Then naval gunfire. The combined bombardment is overwhelming. When it lifts, infantry and tanks assault together. They storm the position from 3 sides simultaneously. Close combat, flamethrowers, demolitions. The Japanese fight to the last man. No surrender, no retreat. They die in their positions. By nightfall, Turkey Knob is American. Cost, 260 casualties. Japanese dead, over 300. The kill ratio slightly favors Americans, but barely. This is Iwo Jima mathematics. Nearly equal exchange. Attackers pay as much as defenders. The amphitheatre is worse. Natural bowl surrounded by heights on 3 sides. The Japanese turn it into a killing zone. Machine guns on the heights fire down into the bowl. Mortars drop shells from above. Crossfire from multiple directions. The 4th Division must take it. The ground is needed for artillery positions, for staging areas. The amphitheatre controls the centre of the island. February 27th, day 9. The assault begins. Companies advance into the bowl. The Japanese wait until the Marines are fully committed, then open fire. The Marines are trapped, taking fire from above on 3 sides. They cannot advance, cannot retreat without exposing themselves further. They hunker down, call for support. Artillery cannot help. The Japanese positions are on reverse slopes, protected. Airstrikes are ineffective. The aircraft cannot see targets in the broken terrain. The Marines dig in. They will hold until nightfall, then withdraw. But the Japanese attack at night. Infantry assault into the bowl. The fighting is close range, hand-to-hand in darkness. Marines fight with rifles, bayonets, knives, entrenching tools, whatever they have. The Japanese are equally desperate. Both sides take casualties. By dawn, the Marines still hold positions in the bowl. Barely. Reinforcements arrive. The fighting continues. It takes 3 days to secure the amphitheatre, 3 days of continuous combat. The Marines lose over 400 killed and wounded. Japanese losses are higher, over 600. The position is a tomb. Bodies lie everywhere. Marines, Japanese. The smell is overwhelming. Decomposition in tropical heat is rapid. The survivors cannot bury the dead. The fighting continues. The bodies remain. Hill 3, 6-2 Able, Day 12, March 2nd. The hill is 110 metres high, fortified. Like everything else. The 23rd Marines, 4th Division attack uphill. Japanese fire from concealed positions, machine guns, rifles. Grenades roll downhill. The Marines advance metre by metre, use cover, fire and movement. Small unit tactics perfected through experience. They reach halfway up, cannot advance further. Too many Japanese, too much fire. That night, Japanese counterattack. Not banzai charge. Coordinated assault. They infiltrate Marine positions, attack from multiple directions, create confusion. The fighting is chaotic. Americans shoot at sounds in darkness, sometimes hit each other. Friendly fire casualties, but mostly they kill Japanese. The defenders hold their positions. The counterattack fails. Dawn reveals bodies scattered across the slope. Both sides, March 4th, Day 14, Hill 362. Able finally falls. The Marines reach the summit. Clear the last positions. The cost is staggering. The 23rd Marines loses over 800. Casualties taking one hill. The regiment is combat ineffective, must be withdrawn, replaced by fresh troops from 3rd Division. The meat grinder consumes units, destroys them. Replacements arrive. The cycle continues. The grinding advance, February 27th. Day 9. The 3rd Marine Division lands as reinforcements. The original 2 divisions are exhausted. Casualties approach 50% in some units. Fresh troops are needed. The 3rd Division pushes into the centre of the line. The advance continues. The pattern is established. Artillery bombards a position. Aircraft strike. Tanks move forward. Infantry follows. Flamethrowers and demolitions clear bunkers. The objective is secured. Casualties are treated. The line consolidates. Then the process repeats for the next objective. 50 metres away. 100 metres. Each one costs lives. The fighting is continuous. There is no rest, no pause. Units rotate out of line for hours, get sleep, hot food, then back into the line. The rotation is necessary. Men cannot fight indefinitely without breaking. Combat fatigue becomes an issue. Some Marines stop responding to orders, stare into space, shake. They are evacuated. Shell shock, battle fatigue. The mind can only endure so much. Replacements arrive daily. Young Marines fresh from training. They land on Iwo and are assigned to units. Within hours they are in combat. Within days many are casualties. Some do not survive their first day. The veteran Marines try to teach them, share knowledge, keep them alive. But there is little time. The battle does not pause for training. Water is a constant problem. The island has no natural fresh water. Everything must be brought ashore. The beaches are still under fire, supplies pile up. Distribution is difficult. Combat units run short of water. Men go thirsty. Ration what they have. The volcanic heat makes it worse. Dehydration is common. Ammunition expenditure is massive. Artillery fires thousands of rounds daily. Small arms ammunition is consumed at incredible rates. Machine guns fire tens of thousands of rounds. Grenades are thrown by the hundred. Resupply is constant. Landing craft shuttle to shore carrying ammunition. They return with wounded. The logistics are staggering. The Japanese are suffering too. Their supplies are finite. No resupply is possible. American control of the sea and air is absolute. The defenders consume their stockpiles. Food runs short. Water is rationed. Medical supplies are exhausted. The wounded die untreated. Infections. Gangrene. The conditions in the tunnels are horrific. But they keep fighting. Kuribayashi's orders are clear. Kill 10 Americans each. Make them pay for every metre. Delay the inevitable as long as possible. The Japanese obey. They fight with discipline and determination. They do not surrender. They die in place. March 4th, day 14. The 4th Marine Division reaches the northeast coast. The island is cut in two. The southern half is secured. The northern half remains contested. The Marines wheel north. The advance into the final defensive zone begins. This area is the most heavily fortified. Hill 362 Able, Hill 382, Turkey Knob, Cushman's Pocket. Each name represents a complex of defensive positions. Each requires days of fighting. The casualties continue mounting. Corpsmen and courage. Throughout the battle, Navy corpsmen serve with the Marines. They are not combatants. They are medics, but on Iwo they fight and die like Marines. When a Marine is hit, the cry goes up. Corpsman, the medic runs forward, under fire, exposed. He reaches the wounded man, assesses injuries, applies treatment, all while bullets snap overhead. The corpsmen carry medical bags, morphine syrettes for pain, bandages, sulfur powder for infections, plasma for blood loss. They work miracles with minimal equipment. They save lives daily, hundreds of lives. But they cannot save everyone. Some wounds are too severe. Some men die despite treatment. The corpsmen try anyway. 27 corpsmen will receive the Medal of Honor for actions on Iwo Jima. More than any other battle, most awards are posthumous. The corpsmen die treating the wounded. Snipers target them deliberately. The Red Cross brassards make them identifiable. The Japanese shoot them anyway. This violates Geneva Conventions. No one cares. This is total war. Pharmacist's mate. 3rd Class Jack Williams treats wounded Marines under heavy fire on March 3rd. He is hit multiple times by grenades and bullets. He continues treating wounded until he dies. Medal of Honor. Pharmacist's mate. 2nd Class. George Wallen treats 14 wounded Marines during a 4-day period. He is wounded 3 times, refuses evacuation, continues treating others until his wounds force him off the line. Medal of Honor. He survives. Pharmacist's mate. 1st Class John Bradley is one of the Suribachi flag raisers. He continues serving as corpsman after the flag raising. He treats wounded throughout the battle. He survives Iwo Jima. Returns home. Never speaks of the battle. His son will later write a book, Flags of Our Fathers, telling the story. The corpsmen are essential. Without them, casualties would be higher. Many wounded who survive owe their lives to corpsmen who ran into fire to save them. The debt is unpayable. The gratitude is eternal. The final phase. March 9th, day 19. The 3rd Marine Division reaches the northeast coast. The island is effectively cut into isolated pockets. Japanese resistance is fragmenting, but hundreds of defenders remain in caves and tunnels. Each pocket must be eliminated. The fighting continues. The Marines seal caves with demolitions, entomb defenders who will not surrender. Flamethrower teams burn out holdouts. The liquid fire penetrates deep into tunnels. The screams are terrible, but the enemy will not quit. They must be killed. Civilians are found in some caves. Japanese. Families who lived on Iwo before the war. They are terrified. The Marines treat them gently, provide water, food, medical care. The civilians are evacuated to holding areas. This surprises them. The propaganda said Americans were barbarians. Some Japanese fake surrender, then pull grenades. This happens repeatedly. The Marines learn to be wary. Sometimes shoot first. The Japanese tactics poison any chance of legitimate surrender. March 21st, day 31. Private 1st Class. Franklin Sousley, one of the flag raisers, is killed by machine gun fire. Age 19, from Kentucky. He survived Suribachi only to die in the final days. 3 flag raisers are now dead. March 25th, day 35. General Holland Smith declares the island secure. Organised resistance has ended. Scattered fighting continues, but the battle is effectively over. March 26, day 36. Final mopping up operations. The last organised resistance ends this day. Iwo Jima belongs to America. The cost. American casualties: 6,821 killed, 19,217 wounded. Total, 26,038. Over 1/3 casualties from 70,000 Marines. Some units suffered 70% losses. Japanese casualties: 18,375 confirmed killed, 216 captured. Out of 21,000 defenders, 95% died, nearly total annihilation. Kuribayashi's body was never found. Medals of Honor, 27 awarded, 13 to Marines, 14 to Navy corpsmen, more than any other single battle in American history. The justification was Iwo Jima worth the cost. By war's end, 2,429 emergency landings were made on Iwo. Each bomber carried 11 crew, 26,000 airmen saved. Lives saved exceeded lives lost taking the island. P-51 fighters based on Iwo escorted B-29s to Japan, reduced. Bomber losses. The air campaign against Japan was more successful because of Iwo. The strategic bombing hastened surrender. Iwo also demonstrated Japanese determination to fight to death. Every defender died rather than surrender. This foreshadowed what invading home islands would cost. The projections were millions of casualties. The estimates influenced the decision to use atomic weapons. But 7,000 dead is 7,000 families who lost sons. The grief is real. The question of worth depends on perspective. For the nation, Iwo was necessary. For the families, no island is worth their loss. The photograph, Joe Rosenthal's photograph of the flag raising, becomes an icon. It appears in newspapers worldwide. It is reproduced endlessly. Posters, stamps, bond drive advertisements. It becomes the symbol of American resolve, of victory earned through sacrifice. The photograph is used to sell war bonds. The three surviving flag raisers, René Gagnon, Ira Hayes, and John Bradley, are brought home. They tour the country, appear at bond rallies, shake hands with politicians, smile for cameras. They are uncomfortable heroes. They did nothing extraordinary. They raised a flag. Others died. Why are they celebrated while dead friends are forgotten? Ira Hayes struggles most. He is Pima Indian, from Arizona. He returns to poverty and discrimination. He drinks to forget, dies young, an alcoholic, broken by survivor guilt and the pressure of unwanted fame. His story is tragic, a reminder that surviving does not mean escaping. John Bradley refuses to speak of Iwo Jima. He returns home, becomes a funeral director, marries, raises family, never talks about the battle. His children barely know he was there. Only after his death do they learn the full story. The silence was his way of coping, of honouring the dead, of living with memories too heavy to share. René Gagnon tries to capitalise on his fame. It does not work. He struggles financially, works menial jobs. The fame fades. He dies relatively young. The photograph gave him celebrity, not prosperity, not peace. The photograph outlives the men. It becomes larger than any individual. It represents an entire generation, the sacrifice of millions, the cost of victory, the reality that freedom requires blood. The image endures because it captures truth. War is hard, victory is costly, courage is real. The airfields. Within days of the battle ending, American engineers repair the airfields. The runways are extended, facilities are built. Iwo Jima becomes what it was fought for, an airbase. March 4th, even before the battle ends, a damaged B-29 makes an emergency landing on Airfield No. 1. The crew is saved. This is the first of thousands. Bombers with battle damage, engine failures, fuel shortages. They all find sanctuary on Iwo. The crews owe their lives to the Marines who died taking the island. Fighter squadrons deploy to Iwo, P-51s, P-47s. They escort bombers to Japan. The fighter cover is decisive. Bomber losses decrease. Mission success increases. The air campaign intensifies. Japanese cities burn. Industrial capacity is destroyed. The war moves toward conclusion. By July, over 100 fighters are based on Iwo. They fly daily missions. The island is crowded, aircraft, personnel, supplies, but it functions. The logistics work. The missions succeed. Iwo Jima fulfills its purpose. When the atomic bombs are dropped in August, B-29s from Tinian fly past Iwo. The island is a waypoint, a checkpoint, a symbol that the end is near. The war will be over soon. The sacrifice on Iwo helped make that possible. The memory, Iwo Jima holds a special place in Marine Corps history. It is the bloodiest battle, the most costly, the most famous. The flag raising on Suribachi is the defining image of the Corps. It represents everything the Marines claim to be: determined, courageous, unstoppable. Veterans return for reunions. They walk the beaches, climb Suribachi, stand where friends died. The memories flood back. Young men again, scared, determined, fighting for each other and the mission. The island looks different, peaceful, green in places. Hard to imagine it was hell. The Japanese remember too. Iwo Jima is sacred ground, where 21,000 soldiers fought to the death defending the homeland. Their sacrifices honoured, memorials are built, names are remembered, the fallen are revered. In 2006, the survivors of both sides meet on Iwo Jima. American Marines, Japanese soldiers, old men now, they shake hands, exchange respects, acknowledge the shared experience of combat. The meeting is emotional. Tears flow. Former enemies are now brothers, united by having survived the same hell, understanding what few others can. The island is mostly uninhabited today, military personnel only. The airfields are maintained, but civilian population is banned. Iwo Jima remains what it was, a military outpost, a memorial, a reminder. The legacy, 36 days, 7,000 dead, 19,000 wounded, the cost of 8 square kilometers of volcanic rock, the price of victory in the Pacific, the demonstration that Japanese would fight to extinction rather than surrender. Iwo Jima proved the Japanese military would not quit. Every defender fought to the death. Only 1% survived to capture. This reality influenced everything that followed. The atomic bomb decision, the terms of surrender, the occupation of Japan, the lessons of Iwo-shaped policy. The battle also proved American determination. The Marines took terrible casualties. They kept fighting. Unit after unit reduced to remnants. Replacements arrived and died. Still the advance continued. The objective was achieved, no matter the cost. This determination defined the American approach to war. Overwhelming force, willingness to pay in blood, refusal to quit. For the Marines, Iwo Jima is sacred. Every recruit learns the battle, studies the tactics, sees the photograph. The legacy is duty, sacrifice, courage under fire. The Corps traces its identity to moments like Suribachi, when Marines did the impossible because quitting was not an option. 79 years later, the flag still flies on Iwo Jima. American, Japanese, both. The island is at peace. The battles are memory. The survivors are old or dead, but the lessons remain. War is costly. Victory requires sacrifice. Freedom is not free. And sometimes, a photograph captures truth that words cannot express. 6 men raising a flag, 3 dying days later, the image eternal, the cost real, the meaning permanent. This is Iwo Jima. 36 days in hell, 7,000 dead, an island taken, a battle remembered, a price paid that can never be repaid but must never be forgotten.